What's up guys, today we are comparing the Sony a7 III on that side and the a7S III on that side, and both have a 14mm f2.8 lens on it, and we're trying to see a comparison between both. Is there much difference? Because this thing, the a7S III, is so much more expensive than the a7 III. I want to see, is it worth it, or would it be enough for you to take the a7 III instead? Right now we are filming in SLog 3 and both cameras have the exact same settings. It's shutter speed of 5000, aperture 2.8 and ISO 800. Yes, I know this camera has a better ISO value in SLog 3, but I wanted to keep it even and the same so we can compare this even better. What do you think? How does it look like? So first, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to test the autofocus. Both cameras have their autofocus field set to the middle. And I'm trying, if one camera loses me quicker, I'm going a bit closer to the camera. So this is really close. Let's see what this does going out of the picture. And I'm moving back in. Let's see what happens here. Let's go down and up. Oh, almost fell over my own cable. Yeah, and what is it looking like? Do you see any difference or is it just the same? By the way, how's the dynamic range? We have some dark parts down here and we have the bright sky in the back. Let's see what it looks like in the end, because in SLog 3 you don't see it in the beginning. That's why I put both cameras side to side to see what it looks like. Alright guys, now we're trying to test the dynamic range of both cameras. Again, we have the exact same settings, and this is the most problematic situation for every camera because we have harsh light from the back, like extra harsh light, and we have shadows in the inside. And I'm trying to see maybe if there's any difference in dynamic range. Especially, what does the autofocus look like? Does it really work? Tell me in the comments what you think. And how do the colors look? Does the 10-bit 4K version of the a7S III look better? I'm not sure. Tell me. So this is side by side. I'm going to go outside and I move inside. Why? I don't know, but I think it's fun. Let's see if the mic still keeps connected. And hopefully it did, otherwise you wouldn't hear me now. Let's see the autofocus. And now let's go even closer. So right now I'm around 20 to 30 centimeters away. This is the ultimate autofocus test for every camera. And yeah, I'm curious to see what this looks like in post. Alright guys, now we switch to HLG3 with BT 2020 4K, and the a7 III has it with 10-bit and the a7 III only with 8-bit. And let's see if there's a difference in dynamic range, in colors, etc. if we have the HLG3 picture profile. Let's put on a LUT so we see a little bit better what this is going to look in the final version. And again, I'm placing the same LUT on both clips, so it has the identical processing. So what do you see? Is there any difference? And again, let's zoom in a little bit. And now zoom in further to 400% in sharpness in HLG3. Is there any difference? Alright, I changed the perspective a little bit. We're looking a bit more to the side, so we have a little bit of the darker areas on that side. And yeah, sorry that the wind is so hard here in this area and blows out the microphone, but I can't do anything about this right now. And as you might see, the difference here is that we can see how is it going to look in the dark parts of the image, because the a7 III always had the problem that the dark parts had such a magenta look, and the 8-bit was not very good for that. But the a7S III had the opportunity with 10-bit to get rid of that problem, and I'm not sure. Let's see how it looks with the grade now. And both have the same grade. Let's see how it looks when I go closer. What is the autofocus doing right now? Tell me, is there any difference? Because I already noticed autofocus issues when using SLog 3 with the a7 III. I'm not sure what the autofocus is looking like on the a7S III. And now I'm going closer and I'm going outwards and closer again. I might look like a stupid bitch, but that's what I'm going to do for you guys, right? Now I'm going out of the picture again and boom, there we are. Very close. Is there any bokeh noticeable? Yeah, maybe not, because I think I've got this on aperture 5.6. Let's check this again. No, it was 2.8. So guys, is there any bokeh? Let's tell me. Well, again, I'm only a few centimeters far from the lens. Well, with 14mm it looks pretty creepy, I know. But we're looking for autofocus, and this is the best example. Now we're going to switch lenses and see what this is going to look like. Alright guys, now both cameras have a 75mm f4 equivalent lens on it. And let's see what the difference is now. We have HLG3 BT 2020, and now I'm moving closer. Let's see what the focus is doing. And moving further away, going closer. And again, it has this exact same settings, you know, and the same focus options. And now move out of the picture, and now move into the picture, and moving out again, and now being really close to it, and now going further away. So I'm not sure how the cameras keep up with this, because this is a pretty stress test. And now moving to that side and back in. I'm not sure what is the focus doing. I'm not seeing anything, that's why I can't tell. And yeah, now we're testing the same thing with the SLog 3 mode. Alright, both cameras are in SLog 3 now, and we have the 75mm lens f4, and we're trying to see any difference. It's the same white balance, everything is the same. What does it look like? Is the autofocus better or worse on any camera? We'll find out now. I will move out and move in quickly to see if there are any differences. Tell me in the comments what you think about this, because I'm curious. You know, not only my opinion is important for this, yours is as well. Okay, this is the, you know, boring test. We will later move on to the more interesting test, the field test. I will take the Sony a7S III into the city, the beautiful Frankfurt Main city, and we're shooting with the 12-24 2.8 G master lens. Yes, you heard right, it just came out the market. I'm not sure if this lens is as expensive as the camera, but we will see what this is going to look like in the city in these conditions. Alright guys, the very last comparison. This time I'm comparing the Sony a7 III against the a7S III in handheld, both at 12,800 ISO, shutter speed of 50, aperture 2.8. They both have the same white balance, and they're filming in SLog 3. So this is the noisiest profile available. And yeah, I'm trying to see a difference between the noise level of both cameras Is it really so that the a7S III is that much better? Can you see any difference? Tell me in the comments if so. To catch the gyro data and use this for post stabilization, which works similar to a gimbal.